Yes, I'm back again, and as I keep on saying, it's always good to meet folk on the hill. We've had the rugby input, the sporting input from the town. Yeah, and you see me up in the bells, ding dong. Great episode, and thanks everybody for the words of encouragement and encouraging me to keep going with this. But this is episode 3, and I'm finding the art side in me now, and I've got the legend again, who is Stig, and we all know Stig.
You all right, John?
How are you, buddy?
Yeah, good, mate.
Thanks for joining me on the hill today.
Yeah, no worries.
How are you, Stig?
Yeah, not bad, mate, not bad.
Have you had a good week?
It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday. What about the birthday? Was the birthday good?
Yeah, nice, getting on a bit now, but
yeah,
it was nice. Good birthday. Nice and steady.
As we were walking up your Stig, I have this warm-up thing I do with everybody. I think it's a warm-up, I don't know quite what it is. And we had a discussion about Bilf High School.
Yeah.
And what house are you in, Stig?
I was a Pritchard boy.
And I'm a Pritchard boy as well. Come on, the Pritchards! Best house ever. Now that'll open up the debate, Stig, certainly will. So, as we were walking up here, we got onto the big debate about bands that we remember. The first band I remember, Loose Joints,
yeah,
was my first introduction to a local band.
Yeah.
And you can name those characters, have we got you?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Big Al was in that band.
Yes, yes.
Was Mikey Richards in
I
there?
think Mikey was, yes.
Possibly Charboffer.
Yes. Williams.
Steve Oakfield.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, when we started off, they were the senior boys on the circuit. But we had, when I was in school before we started playing, I suppose it was the Chicken Howlers.
I remember the chicken. Who was in the Chicken Howlers?
Melvin. Muggs. Was Muggs in there?
Yeah.
A lad called Alid, perhaps.
Yeah.
They're a bit older than me, but they were that first sort of like Bilf band. I remember, when you're sneaking into the pubs at 16.
Well, there's like me, like the Barney Mow used to be the old youth club. Loose Joints are in there, we're going in, and it was just, I loved it,
Yeah.
So, I think of like the other bands around, Chrissy Offer,
yeah.
Jonathan, Chrissy Jones. There's all that group of bands that are still in bands. Bald and Ed are still on there.
When we were in school, it was the Bodweisers, I think they were called. And you had Louis Tonkin and Matthew Gibbons, and they were all in that band when we were starting off,
Yeah, but the interesting debate we were having, right, is like, we talk about Loose Joints. Growing up in Bilf, there were other bands as well, but Loose Joints sticks in my head because they were part of the era of that moment for me. And yourself, you talk about it. So there's a good, I don't know, we're not going to talk, but there's a bit of age between us two. But I think the bands are still there. Me and you were recognising those bands as we're talking.
Yeah.
And we were walking up.
Bilf was its music legends, didn't it? They don't go away.
Yeah.
Some of them step into the background.
Talking to one now. I got Stig on the hill when everybody else failed. Sorry, go carry on.
But you've got legends. You've got people like Alphonse.
Yeah.
Bass playing legend.
Yeah.
He's still there. I'm sure he isn't playing much anymore. You've got Tegwin.
Yeah.
Them boys, they still play at home. They're just not in bands anymore.
Yeah. So what's in your vision of how it's going in Bilf now? Do you see a gap of those types of bands? I know I'll be speaking to Barney Williams later and Marshall and the Hats.
Yeah.
They're forming up.
Yeah,
they're sounding good.
It's good to see them boys coming through, making a noise, like.
Yeah, but
it's good to see.
Compared to our day growing up.
Yeah.
Is it missing? Is there a gap?
Absolutely. I think when I started back in, I found my first bass guitar at home. It had a serial number of it, like 1998 or something.
Yeah.
That's when I started.
Did you?
But Bilf High School would have a band in every sort of 2 or 3 year age group. There'd be a band.
Yes.
Made up of people and I just don't think that exists anymore.
So, could you put that down to, buddy? Where do you think what's happening locally? You could say nationally, globally.
Yeah.
But this is all about the place me and you love. Beef up Bilf. What's happening here with it?
Well, firstly, there isn't necessarily the live music happening in town to inspire people.
Yeah. Well,
so when I was going in the pubs, you'd go out on a Saturday night, and there'd be a band in the rugby club, there'd be a band in the White Horse, there'd be a band in the Lamb, there'd be a band in the Fountain. There'd be bands everywhere. You'd have Wyside putting on Battle of the Bands and things like that. I remember sitting there watching them before I started playing, thinking, I want a bit of this,
Yeah.
Begging my parents to buy me an electric guitar. I want in on this. And that doesn't exist anymore. There's no live music at Wyeside.
Yeah, and the trouble is that people say, oh, COVID, but hang on a minute. It's been 18 months, 2 years, and it's in this hole. That's not, you can make that excuse. You could pause it a little bit, as I keep saying. But it's not really an excuse, is it?
No, I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's just it's the state of music in general. I think, you know.
Yeah.
These days, most music is made by geeky little kids on laptops.
And when I was walking up, he did put the F-bomb in. Don't look at it laugh.
I try my hardest not to swear.
Stig on the mountain.
But you know, when I was growing up,
not swearing. Sorry, carry on, bud.
The music, you know, even contemporary bands, Guns N' Roses and Manic Street Preachers, and you know, even though I don't like the band, you had the Stereophonics and things like that that were inspirations. But now what have they got? You put Radio 1 on, and there's no bands as such, is there, to encourage people to want to join and start bands themselves? And there are people out there that want to play guitar and sing, but there doesn't seem to be enough people out there these days that want to be drummers or want to be bass players or want to be the backbone of a band, you know.
And I suppose it's like, I'm aware, right, as we were talking on the way up, you were saying that you did have that element for about 18 months where you were in a band.
Yeah.
Cusping on cusp, as you called it, with it.
Yeah, so I was in a band called the Jinx, and we decided, you know, we were going to go for it. So we all moved into a house together in Cardiff. The band was all we did. We quit our jobs, or some of us came straight out of university, and we just did the band full time, you know. And we were, like I said, we weren't on the cusp, but we were supporting the bands that were on the cusp. We were on the cusp of the cusp.
So you were right there of living.
Yeah, and we were playing up and down the country, you know. We might be a Thursday night in Bristol, then it'd be a Friday night in Cardiff or Swansea or Newport or Bridgend, or then we'd be down to London on the Monday or something, and then we'd be back to Bristol, and then, you know, we were along that M4 corridor just relentlessly that year, playing gigs, supporting people. You know, and a lot of the bands we supported, they were the bands with the embryonic record deals and stuff. But
yeah.
They never, none of them have really come to anything.
But you guys then, you lived that dream for a while then.
Yeah.
When you're up on stage and playing with it, yeah.
Absolutely, it was great. I was living the dream for a while.
And I do agree with you on something interesting, right? And I came down, I watched you guys in New Deadly.
Yeah.
Right? Which I am, Young's on, I am 80s man, like, I love it. Yeah, you could tell that. I wasn't stalking you, I just love the music. So anyway, I saw that, and it inspired me to think, well, when are these boys back again? And everybody saw the clip I put up of you guys. What track was that, Stig?
It was an Elvis Costello number, Pump It Up.
Oh yes, Elvis Costello. Hey, you did pump it up as well. You had John dancing like a dad. So, you know, that's what I mean. That needs to be happening. Those types of gigs, not just because we have the Penminey Festival, because it's a Friday night or a Thursday night, and we know that the New Deadly are down there, and Marshall and Hats are on Friday, and we got choices of where to go.
Yeah, and hopefully some other bands.
Yes,
you know, we need some youngsters coming through, and I know there are people. I know for a fact that I haven't heard them yet, but I know Lloyd Offer and Mac Williams and them boys have just started a band.
That's breaking news then.
Yeah, I think that
is that breaking news on Jungle Version?
That's possibly breaking
news up in the hill.
You
I knew you'd be good. Yeah, I did say this is going to be entertaining.
I have heard a rumour that them boys have started a band, so it's good to see, you know.
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
be the third generation of an Offer in a band.
Oh wow, yes. Because Chrissy Offer is the band man, isn't he?
And his old man Chubb.
Yeah. And of course, there's the legend. Let's go back to legend. Chrissy Jones on the drums, eh?
Yeah. You can thump him, boy.
He can thump him. Yeah. And with their lead singer, Porky, yeah, Jonathan.
That's the politically correct name for it.
Yeah. I'm all over it.
Censored name.
Yeah. So, as we're coming up to the top, yeah, all right, and when I interview you, think everybody be thinking, oh, thank God we're getting to the top, because Jungle John's going to shut up and everything. Go home.
I was just wondering if we went for a pint after this.
Yeah, that's going to be on. Because you know what's coming now? We're going to be talking about open mic.
Yeah.
So as we're coming up to the top, yeah, right, open mic started a good year before lockdown.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of good bands there. Cardboard Box Thieves, that folk band, they formed up there. They started there. There's a couple of other duets have started. You've got Marshall and the Hats, and it touches on other stuff as well. You've got young comedians getting up, so it's not just about the music.
Yeah.
It's more of a call into the art scene, and both showcasing that they have very, very talented people in the town. So how do you see all that fitting in the open mic?
Well, it's a great start for this post-COVID, trying to kickstart live music again. You know, it's in the diary. It's a once a month thing. It's something people can look forward to, whether that's performing or just going to hear some live music. I think, and it could be, you know, like you say, it could be the place for new people to start out, new people to find other musicians to start these bands.
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing that they're doing.
I think it's a way forward, and as you say, so the positive. And we have, Stig, I've got to be honest, we've had a real positive chat up here today, and I knew we would after it, because if you remember, I came rushing across you. Only 3 pints in. I hope it didn't. It's like,
yeah, I saw it.
Oh my God,
I was about 6 pints in.
Oh, he's going to stalk me again. No, but we had a real chat. I wanted to do this. You know, I mean, this is something new for me about the blogging on the hill with the community, all about Bilf. So, Stig, mate, look at what I call the best view in the world. An open mic will be down there somewhere in the fountain there. This legend that is Stig, yeah.
Calling me a legend.
Yeah, right, many legend, yeah. From the New Deadly, Stig, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, mate.
Cheers, Junk.
And keep it up, mate. We'll be back again talking, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you. Hello. Yep, as I keep on saying, it's always great to meet people up in Garfield up over there. But it's even greater to come down and have a chat to people off the hill. And as you saw in the first interview, I was lucky enough to be joined on the hill by Stig, and we had a real good chat about the music scene in Bilf. But I'm now going to find myself in Daffodilwood. I've actually got a camera person with me, and I won't embarrass her, but thank you, Laura. Anyway, follow me now. And they've got this thing about knocking on the door, and there's something about mystical about a man's shed. And yes, you got it. You knew who I was talking to because I've been advertising it everywhere. I'll give it a little knock because it's rude not just to walk into a man's shed, isn't it? Give it a little, the camera up and down. Yeah. So,
Oh.
Barney,
Yes.
can I come in there, mate?
You come.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
You got here.
I got you.
Dude, I don't know if there's room, but come on in.
Yeah, can I open the other door? Because
Yeah, go for it.
I managed to recruit down someone on the camera here for me.
How is it, man?
Laura.
Excuse me.
I'm very well, thank you. Look,
Oh, sit down, dude. Do you want a beer?
yes, I'll have a beer as well.
Yeah, fantastic.
I'd love a beer with you. So, as I said, I'm in the man cave, which is brilliant. Barney, let me just fill you in what's been going on, right?
Yes, yeah, cool.
You know, since you started open mic,
Cheers.
buddy, and you know that since we started open mic, I've been on to you about having a chat about, as we say,
dude,
the vibe about open mic, and you know who Stig is. After
very
the
well.
Penminey Festival, the Bikers Festival, fantastic festival in Bilf, I had a chat with Stig, and we had the joke about he thought I was stalking him, but we finally got him on the hill, and we had a real good chat about the old scene of music back in Bilf.
Oh, well, dude, the old scene is like sort of the whole reason for the open mic is to just breathe some life into the Mid-Wales music scene.
And we'll come back. We'll get to the open mic, but first thing I wanted to start with you. I know you're a Bilf boy, like myself. I'm proud. I was in Pritchard House. What house were you in?
I was in Evans.
Oh, that ends this conversation here now.
Mr. Ronicle, man.
Oh,
Mr.
here we go.
Ronicle,
Yes.
fantastic house leader.
Well, that's going to open up some debate because I was in Pritchard's.
Okay.
And guess what? Stig, Pritchard's as well. So the
he in
conversation
Pritchard's?
went on a high all the way up.
There it is.
But we'll
There it
forget
is.
that. When I was in, I'd have to admit, when I was in school, Evans won everything, but we're not going there now.
No, they did when I was there, but like I'm not saying I had anything to do with it.
I tell you what, Bun, there are people going to be looking at this shit, and they are going to be so jealous.
It's a bit of a
Was she Barney?
collection. Like it's.
If you
it's,
ever want to know who the person I'm about to interview is, without actually saying anything, welcome to Barney's shed. Anyway,
well, it's a good. It's a good space, man.
As we said, like, where does your passion for music come from? That's a big. I know it's a big opening.
It's a big question.
I know, but where does it? What inspired you to get involved? To think right.
I think,
as I spoke with, where it comes from this question, right? It comes from Stig saying he bought his guitar and he's still got this when he bought it. He's still got the receipt. That's how he saw it. He remembers Battle of the Bands in the West Side. Unfortunately, that's gone now. But where was your moment, Barney? You thought, right, I want to get into that band.
Crikey. So I think, really, like, performing started like way back in like primary school.
Yeah.
And like I think I was actually. I mean, I'd have to check the bill. I'm sure my mum's got it somewhere. Like, I was
I'll check
lead.
with Ali. We'll ask her.
I was yeah. I know. I mean, I was the lead in the school play in year 6 in primary school, like leaving, and I don't know why. I guess I've always been a bit of an attention seeker. I don't know the.
I can't see that.
No,
what you saying to me, mate?
But that's no. But so yeah, it really started with like doing like plays and stuff, and then just I think I've very recently, just got back into the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah?
Okay.
And I remember, and this is just fresh in my mind off the top now, is the we were going to a rugby tournament in Abergavenny, yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long after the Chili's had released Stadium Arcadia, or whichever album that is. I can't remember exactly. And I remember hearing it and just being like, wow. And then like you grow up, and then like as you probably alluded to before, is that the scene in Belfast used to be like really popular. Yeah. So like every weekend, like going out, there'd be a band on and stuff. And you'd like look up to these dudes, and like it's funny that you actually spoke to Dan earlier. Is like I rated those guys, man.
Yeah.
Like watching those guys do what they did, and like they were from here, like
Yeah.
And it was a bunch of acts, and it's like there was a great scene in Landod, and I was lucky enough to. I was doing a lot of art at the time. Is like I just wanted to get in on the poster side of things and the promotion side of things really more than. And then I could have a beer and enjoy the gig.
Funny enough,
rather than
Stig, Daniel is Stig, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
He would say that he remembers you, right? And he speaks about this on the hill.
Right.
And you did posters and stuff for him, and didn't you support them in a band? Or,
well, and then right, and so then it came about that like. How it came about was, you remember Guitar Hero Rock Band and like the way you're pressing the buttons and things? Yeah. And so me and my buddy, like after school religiously, we'd be on Rock Band. And if we weren't playing Rock Band, we would play Call of Duty or like one of the others. And it got to a point, and I think it was like in year 10, year 11, something like that, going like back ages. And we were just like, what the hell are we doing? Like we're pouring all this time into perfecting this game.
When you can actually get out there
and all it needs is getting an instrument and just doing it.
And it's funny enough, like, when you see the full, you'll see Stig talk about this. Gigs on keyboards, ruining our music or something like that, he says. And I stopped it from swearing. Right. So what's brilliant about this, man, you've actually touching on, and you came away from that and you got into it and you...
Well, when
am I right?
Going back to when like we supported dance, so like, and that sort of happened for a while, and we tried to get there, and we tried like hell to get this bloody band together, and it just never worked. It never really gelled, and I think that's an important part playing in a band, was that you need to gel and you need to be on the same page and you need to be working on the same stuff. And that never really came off. So I was just like, well, as I said, I guess like deep down there's maybe a bit of an attention-seeking streak or whatever. I just like to be.
Look at me, I'm a shy little flower.
Oh, a delicate little flower. But anyway, and so I was just like, well, screw this. I don't need a band to do it. I'll do it on my own. And then like I had like a great period before going to university of doing like regular gigs on the weekend, and like I think at one point I had like a good 30 song set, like only covers. They weren't originals, but it was just like fun, like to get up there and like the guys that you saw like at the weekend, like the just doing it, like, you know, and like it was fun to do that for a while, and then I went to uni, and it was really weird because, like, strangely, I didn't fall in with the graphics lot and like the art lot.
You wanted to
I just naturally fell in with the musicians lot. And then really quickly discovered that those dudes were there to study music, not just do it. And was like way out of my depth. And I was just like, you know what? I'll leave it to these dudes.
Yeah.
But music's a funny thing, dude. And I think like when you play it as well, that's always in you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's always in you. And I'd slowly but surely like ended up picking up my guitar and doing little bits and working on writing stuff.
Let's move it on a bit now, and for me, that I'm going to touch on now about open mic. I mean, I was there when you said, right, say we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And excuse me, you bloody well did, man. It was the stuff you begged, borrowed, and stole.
Well, yeah,
stole nothing, and you put open mic on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And for me, that, you know, I'm not in a band or anything like that, but to as you use me, that vibe of seeing new acts coming in and stuff like it was a whole new thing for me, and you know how excited I get about it. And have you, you know, it obviously had the break in it for because of COVID.
Oh yes, yeah, obviously.
But has it been what you set it out to be, Barney? Is it going in a direction from the beginning?
Everything and more, man. I mean, the idea when starting it was just a way to see if anyone was out there, because I didn't know. I'd like been away for some time. I came back, and then all of a sudden the bands that were on every night or thing, they weren't there, and it was terribly. And then you ask around, and it's just sort of like, no, we don't really do that no more. And I was just like, well, I remember there being like a group of musicians here, and sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. But with the open mic originally, we just wanted to see who was out there, and we just wanted to make a platform for creative people, be them thespians, musicians, comedians.
Yeah, that's some great comedians.
Well, we had a cracking few comedians, and like, I mean, those dudes impressed me more than the guys. Like, if you'll excuse my wording, is like hiding behind a guitar, like, you know, like to get up there with material you've wrote to make someone laugh. That's difficult. That's difficult at the best of times, but let alone doing it in a small rural town, like, you know, where like that's prime heckling territory.
This is where and it comes back from all the art forms. This is where what you're doing here, Barney, you can pick up your trade. You can learn your trade. You can get all that learning the scene about a bit starting as a comedian. You can try something out with music because it's open mic. And as you said to me, go for it, guys.
I mean, but that was the thing that I wanted to like drill into the ground level of the event.
Well, you've done that, and I got to say, who's your biggest fan? Who's your biggest me?
Well, I've got
the Via Moretti there is someone else. Well, and I drink far too much of it when I go. I know.
It's easily done. It's easily done. And I think the thing is that what we tried to install straight from the off was this is a safe space.
I did it before when I was up in Radnor with my old mate Ben Duggan. We've had a lousy 18 months. And the obvious is when we have a community event, let's not take it for granted. Let's get down to the fountain. Let's get down to the fountain, and when they have the open mic there this Thursday, get down and go and enjoy yourselves and go and watch the talent we have from Mid Wales, from Builth Wales. And I tell you what, it's a cracking night. With that, Barney, mate,
yes, man.
I'm going to thank you very much.
No worries, man. It's a pleasure.
And to the wonderful Laura on camera there as well. I've got to give her some credit.
You got to shout her out. Like, seriously, she is like 90% of the open mic video.
And I tell you what, she's holding that camera very still. Better than that, because it's normally up like this. Yeah. So, shake me hand, my old mate.
It's a pleasure, John.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'll be talking to you again soon.
Oh, my
Thank you.